Peter Greenberg's live global travel update is presented to you by it'seasy.com passport and
Hello,
visa
everybody.
services.
Peter Greenberg here. Welcome to our weekly global travel update. It's post-Valentine's Day global travel update. I have a few things to say about that. But first, let me tell you where we are. I'm actually talking to you from the campus of the University of the West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica. I'm here for a global conference on resilience in travel and tourism, the capacity to react and the capacity to anticipate global crises from countries and institutions when it comes to travel and tourism. A lot of ministers here, a few heads of state as well, and fascinating conversations about the lessons learned and most importantly, the lessons to be applied. And I'll be sharing that in the weeks and months ahead. I mentioned post-Valentine's. I'll get to that later. But most importantly, let's talk about Turkey. The situation continues to deteriorate and get worse. The death toll is way over 40,000, and in fact, will continue to mount. Remember, we talked about 11,000 buildings collapsed. Very difficult to identify, very difficult to extract, although they are still miraculously pulling some people out alive. I mean, that in itself is unbelievable and heartening. A lot of you have asked how you can help. I want to tell you how you can help. I'm going to give you our website. If we can put that up, it's petergreenberg.com. But on that website will be our comprehensive list of all the aid and relief organizations that are doing such great work with boots on the ground, people really helping out. I'll have more information on our website over the next couple of days as that list increases in number and allows you to donate in any way that you can. There will be a time, since we're all travelers, there will be a time for you to donate your physical presence in the relief effort and the rebuilding effort, which will take at least 5 years, if not 10. We're dealing with a human loss of staggering proportion, a material loss of staggering proportion, an infrastructure loss of staggering proportion, and an economic base loss of staggering proportion. And we need all the help we can give them because it's just a devastating situation where getting people there isn't the only answer. You also have to get equipment and supplies, and the logistics are quite cumbersome. So stay on that. Go to our website, donate in any way that you can. Right now, it's about writing a check. Some donations they can take materially, but in the long run, it's going to be what you can do as travelers. Keep in mind, and I'm saying this because of the economic base here, so many travel and tour operators are reporting bookings canceled or way down to other parts of Turkey. And the bottom line is the other parts of Turkey aren't affected. And some of the best ways you could help out is by going there as a traveler, not as an aid worker in those unaffected areas. So lots of things to discuss about and basically lots of things to do. Moving on from that, of course, if you've got any comments or questions, you know what to do. Send them in right now. We'll go through all of them. I want to talk also about Passenger Bill of Rights and the law that was introduced by Senators Markey and Blumenthal from Connecticut, delineating what may be the airline's responsibility and actually in very much detail laying out what they owe you if A happens, if B happens, if C happens, a list of contingencies, but also results, not to mention financial consequences. So think about that as well. It may wind its way through Congress. It may never even get out of committee. The airline lobby tends to be rather strong. This may end up being an area just that the DOT has to deal with in terms of rulemaking. The same thing applies to what President Biden talked about during his State of the Union address last week about junk fees. That may be something that's dealt with by the Federal Trade Commission. So it's either going to be done legislatively by Congress or more likely by rulemaking by the DOT or the FTC. So stay tuned on that. We'll be talking about that. Now, let's talk about your questions and what's going on. Hold on a second. Patrick Cooney's back in LA. Hello, Patrick. Sue Hannafin saying hi from Antigua. Patty Ford, is Istanbul safe for travel? It is. I tell you that unequivocally. In fact, my wife will be going in just a few days, and I'll be going about 3 or 4 weeks from now if I get lucky to do it. But yes, the airport is open. In fact, All the relief supplies are flying through the Istanbul airport and then to onward ports in eastern and southern Turkey. So yes, Istanbul is open, and in fact, they are welcoming you. All right, hello from Scottsdale to Judy. Colleen, thank you again for thanking me about helping, but it's the very least we can do. People need to mobilize. In the history of the world, this loss will be up there in the record books, and it's not a record we want to see or ever repeat. Debbie saying greetings from Buffalo, New York. Evelyn says greetings from Denver. What time will I be speaking at the travel show in Denver? Well, that'll be not this weekend. That'll be next weekend on the 25th and 26th. So check the schedules. You can go to Travel and Adventure Show in Denver on the web, and it'll give you all the speaker schedules. But I'm speaking on both days. So I hope you will come out and see me. I'll be glad to say hello to everybody in the Denver area. Also, while we're at it, I'll be flying from here tomorrow back to Los Angeles because on Saturday and Sunday, I'll be speaking at the Los Angeles Convention Center for the Travel and Adventure Show. And I hope to see many of you there as well. And we'll have more updates, by the way, on Saturday about Turkey. All right, Tricia says, greetings from Holly Springs, Georgia. My father is flying to Kingston at this very moment. Okay. All right, let's hear it for Bob Marley. That's another story. Nadiruto, I hope I got that name right. Greetings from Kenya. Robin is checking in from Williamsburg, Virginia. Iris is saying, greetings from Queens, New York. Okay. Okay. Hey, Patty says she purchased today an award ticket for Paris for May. All right. Nicely done. Justine is saying hi from Tanzania. All right. Well, Linda is saying Thailand trips. Best time and way to go. Well, my best time to go to Thailand is actually right now. December, January, February. It's not oppressively hot or humid. You'll have a great time. The weather tends to be much better. But again, remember, I lived in Bangkok for 25 years, so the best time for me to go is anytime. But if you want the best weather, December, January, and February are probably your best bets. Now, you said the best way to go? Well, you know, there are not that many airlines that fly nonstop to Thailand these days, as in none, although Thai Airways keeps saying they're coming back. I would be surprised if that happens, but pleasantly surprised. The best way to get to Thailand, believe it or not, you can go through Japan, great hub, or you can go through Hong Kong as well, go on Cathay Pacific and continue on Cathay Pacific from Hong Kong to Bangkok. In fact, split the trip and hit Hong Kong on the way back. Or, of course, through Japan, I mentioned ANA, which is the United Airlines partner. They hub there. And, of course, Delta does that as well, or Korean Air. That's the secret. Korean Air is a great airline, and they go through one of the great airports in the world in Incheon. And so you can go, you know, from many of their U.S. gateway cities to Seoul, and then on to Bangkok. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jamila, for your email, and I will talk to you separately about that. But I love the work that you're doing, a tourism agency for people with disabilities. So let's have a separate conversation on that. I did ask for Valentine's Day story, so let's do it. I asked, did you ever fall in love while you were traveling in the most surprising way? And where and how did that happen? So if you've got some answers, let me know. Colleen just says, you asked on your Facebook about Valentine's Day stories. Where did you fall in love with your wife? Well, here's the deal. You asked where I fell in love as opposed to where we met. Which one would you like? We met back in April of 16 at the premiere of one of our Royal Tour specials. It was the Royal Tour of Ecuador with the president of Ecuador in New York. And she was actually there as the guest of Turkish Airlines. And that's how we first met. Now, I'm not going to tell you it was love at first sight. We didn't have time for that night. But I guarantee you it didn't take long. And for those of you who were wondering, it's my first wedding, my first marriage, and my last. How about that? All right. Katrina says, hello from Alabama. Roseanne wants to know hi from Boynton Beach. There we go. There, Anthony just posted on our website the information on the Denver travel shows on the 25th and 26th of this month. And moving right along. Harriet and Jim are saying hi from Richmond, Virginia. We are going to a wedding in LA and need to rent a car next week. Are there any problems we need to look out for at the airport? LAX is a mess. They're still building the train system out there. If anybody ever takes this train, I will be in shock. But forgetting that, people in LA don't know how to take the train. They don't know how to walk. They don't even know how to get in their car. So building a train, especially if you have luggage, really? Okay, forgetting that. Airport parking and airport traffic at LAX sucks. So my suggestion is, if you want to save some money, rent a car outside of LAX and take a taxi or take a shuttle bus and rent it locally. It'll be less expensive. And when you go to return it, do the same thing. Actually, you could return it to LAX and then take their shuttle bus. But renting at LAX, it's a schlep. Okay. Okay. April says, greetings from Las Vegas. April, I wish I had the answer for this. Any updates on the gem in Egypt? The Egyptians, I have a saying for the folks in Egypt. No, inshallah, 8:00. They didn't listen to me. They haven't even given me an ounce of information. By the way, the building's been completed for a long time. I've been in it. I've been in the working rooms with the artisans and the restorers. So it's not exactly they're not ready. They've been ready for a long time, but they're apparently looking to some big extravaganza opening with every head of state. And, look what they did with the pharaohs with the parade of cars. With that was, well, somewhat ridiculous, but it was an extravaganza. So I was first told last year it would be in September, then November, now May. No answer yet. I promise you, April, as soon as I get the answer, I'll let you know. But look, King Tut moved faster than the opening of this museum. Okay. And by the way, the museum is worth it. Mary Jo says, hi from Chester Springs, Pennsylvania. I'll be in Lisbon in June, and I'm planning a day trip to Sintra. Should I spend the whole day in Sintra or combine it? No, you spend the whole day in Sintra, and then you spend the whole day in Cascais. Okay? You want to take it in, and you want to, it's not a long drive from Lisbon, and then you want to just walk once you get there. Lisbon, Sintra, Cascais was made for walking. You'll love it. Okay. Roseanne wants to know best months to visit Vietnam. Same as the best months to visit Thailand, December, January, and February. So there you go. Oh, you're going to take a river cruise, even better. Okay. Patty said, everyone wants to know what's my story with my wife. And they want to know if it was a shidduch. No, it was completely random and unexpected. And I'm thankful to the gods. Let's just say that. Camilla says, cheers from Tucson. Patty Ford says, Palm Beach next month. Okay, here we go. Patrick says, I met my wife Linda while we worked at Royal Caribbean in the 80s. Think Love Boat. Hey, we've been expecting you. Okay. Harriet and I have made a donation to Operation USA. Very good. Operation USA, founded by Julie Andrews, operated right now by my good friend Richard Walden. In the interest of full disclosure, I'm also on the board. They've got boots on the ground. They're making cargo flights. They're doing all their warehouses are being emptied for flights to Istanbul. And by the way, how we do it at Operation USA is we work with airline partners who give us empty cargo space on planes that are already going there. By the way, this Saturday, the folks at Turkish Air, they have a donated Cargo Lux, huge plane, going to take 60 tons of cargo to Istanbul. And my friends over at Turkish Air are going to be, they're all volunteering to load that plane up on Saturday at LAX. So things are starting to happen. But Operation USA, they've worked with United Airlines for years. They're a good partner in giving us free cargo space for much needed supplies and equipment every time there's a disaster around the world. But recently, we've never seen a disaster like this. Okay, Jeff wants to know, can I recommend one restaurant in Edinburgh for dinner? You know what? Go to me, email me, peter@petergreenberg.com, and I'll give you 3. Okay? We'll get back to you on that. By the way, food in Scotland used to suck, right? And I'm not just talking about haggis, but guess what? They've turned it around. They have turned it around. All right. Crust is saying hi from Uganda. Nice to hear from you, sir. Robert saying the train station's almost done an MCO and it goes to Miami. Now that's not the Bright Line, is it? I hope it is. But you know what? We love the Bright Line, and we love what they're doing with the trains in Florida. Sue wants to know, when should I buy an airfare for the Big Island in Hawaii for October 1st? Well, that's a shoulder season. You're in good shape. But do some shopping. People forget that every airline flies there. Literally. I mean, every U.S. airline, right? You've got United, Delta, American, Southwest, Alaska, and of course, Hawaiian. They're all going. So be a good comparison shopper and do that now. Leslie says, when should I buy air tickets to London for this August? How about never? It's going to be high season, and those prices are going to be crazy. There's been no decrease in demand for Europe for June, July, and August. And that, by the way, includes London, but also Paris and Spain and Rome, everything. So right now is a good time to search. Right now is also an excellent time if you've got some frequent flyer miles lying around that you want to redeem. This may be some time when there's some availability, but the closer we get to August, those will evaporate. Okay. Roseanne says, we'll be in Amsterdam beginning of May. Any must-dos? You bet. Oh, yeah. I love Amsterdam. First of all, if you've not been to the Rijksmuseum, you got to go just to see Night Watch. You know, I've seen it maybe 9 times. I always go back, and you'll see why. I mean, it's almost an optical illusion. I mean, it's a huge painting, but it's almost an optical illusion. No matter where you walk in front of it, the eyes follow you. It's wild. But definitely do that. The Anne Frank Museum, of course. But most importantly in Amsterdam, get a bicycle, because the city lives on bicycles, and go up and down the canals. I have a couple of favorite restaurants there. One's called The Lobby. One's called Dynasty. And of course, there's the Conservatorium Hotel, the restaurant in that hotel. This is how specific we're going to get today. The chef there, a kick-ass tapioca pudding. How about that? I just pulled that right out. Okay, let's keep going. Lena's saying, see you Saturday in LA. I'll see you Saturday in LA. You got it. Patty Ford says, Turkish Air, a great airline. They are. They fly to more destinations than any other airline in the world. And right now, they're very busy in Turkey, as you can imagine. Okay, Dublin restaurant. Well, you know what? I have a few, and I'll give you those. Email me, peter@petergreenberg.com, and I'll give you 3 of those. By the way, our special, the reason why I know this about Ireland, of course, is our special, which is premiering March 17th on PBS, Amazon, and Apple TV. What a surprise on March 17th. Just happens to be St. Patrick's Day. It's called Hidden Ireland. So check that out when it comes out. Okay. Thank you for that note, Robin. Okay. Jeff says, I've emailed you 3 previous times with no response from you. What's the deal? Okay. Here's the deal, Jeff. I get 850 emails a day, and I'm doing the best I can. But since you have my attention now, tell me what the issue is. All right, I'll wait. I got plenty of time, and I'll try to help you. Sue says, when should I buy airfare for Dubai for November 27th? Well, last time I looked, Thanksgiving is not a big holiday in Dubai. So if you look for the airfares right now, they should be reasonably down. If they're not, that means they haven't reset the algorithms. And what that means is you go 54 days out. Okay? Robert says, yes, it's the Brightline. There you go. We love it. Okay. Harriet and I are married late in life. First marriage and the last. We agree with you. Okay. We'll double date. Okay. Here we go. Ju is saying greetings to Japan. Colleen says the Rijksmuseum is a great place to introduce kids to art. I agree. And Night Watch, it blows everybody away. It really does. Oh, that's the question you wanted, Jeff? The Edinburgh restaurant? Okay. I promise you, email me today and we'll get you an answer tomorrow. All right? You will not go hungry in Edinburgh. All right. Now, it's time to do, oh yeah, we've got some more people to talk to here. But before we do, let's go to this. Let's go to the question I asked you guys. Where did you find love when you traveled, when you least expected it? Right? In keeping with Valentine's Day, which, by the way, in my book is the most overrated, overpriced holiday of the year. It is. I mean, it's a conspiracy of florists, chocolate makers, and champagne, not to mention hotels. And anybody who is silly enough to buy the Valentine's Day package, you really got to overpay. The best gift of love you can give to your significant other is not to wait in line at a restaurant with an expensive prefix menu on Valentine's Day. It's to do it when there's not a line there, right? And then pick what you want. Order ahead. Talk to the chef and order his or her special meal that they want and they love. And then if you're at a hotel, it's BYO. Bring your own flowers and champagne and chocolates. You decorate the room. Just get there ahead of your significant other. But on Valentine's Day, please, it's like I mean, really, stay home and do it later. That's a true exhibit of love as long as you let them know what you're thinking about or surprise them. All right. So who wants to talk to me about where they found love in the most unexpected way when they traveled? I'm ready. I'll go to some of the ones that you sent in already. Give me a second here. I'll pull them up. All right. Okay. Here's one from Gina who says, Oscar in Costa Rica. That's a tease. He was our driver in 1994. We spent many miles sharing loving glances via his rearview mirror until she probably moved to the front seat. That's coming up. It was love at first sight. I still have his love letters he sent to me after my trip. He wrote me a poem comparing our romance to the life of a mariposa butterfly. Short and beautiful. Okay. Oh, she says, all we have is our memories and dreams as we never met up again. Oscar, if you're watching, Gina's waiting for you. Okay. Wow. Okay. This is a long one from Elizabeth. In the mid-'80s, I was traveling home from visiting my aunt and uncle in Ohio at Christmas. I had to take a connecting flight to get to Kalamazoo, Michigan, where I lived. A big snowstorm prevented my flight from departing my layover stop in Ohio. The plane finally left at 1 a.m. and arrived in Kalamazoo at 2 a.m. Once in the Kalamazoo, I had to share a taxi with several people, including a man my age with blonde hair. I had noticed him at the airport. Traveling in the cab in the dark, I listened to him talking to an older woman and thought he had a lovely voice. So after other people were dropped off, it was just the two of us in the back of the cab. So we chatted about where we lived and where we worked. I hope this is going where I want it to go. He never did tell me his name. However, being the resourceful type, once I was back at my office a few days later, I called the company he worked for and found out his name. I ended up writing him a little note and inviting him to meet me for a drink. He called me, we met. We dated for about 7 months. It wasn't love, but he was a good guy. We had a good time. Hey, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Congratulations. It went somewhere I wanted it to go. So it didn't have the happiest permanent ending, but you did have fun while it lasted, and that's what counts. All right, let's keep going here. Hold on a second. I'm going to scroll down. All right. Is it a good time to Jordan in mid-March? To go to Jordan? Yes, it is. All right. Very good. Greetings from sunny Las Vegas, April. Same to you. Sue says they're about $1,500 plus to Dubai right now and not sure what a good price is. Sue, are you talking about a round trip coach ticket to Dubai now? If that's the case, you're not buying it now, or you're not going to buy it the way you normally would buy it. You might go to a second country first and then connect. There's an airline called Fly Dubai, much cheaper prices. Find out where they fly, connect to that airport. You might be surprised. Okay? Just letting you know. All right. Now, speaking of flying places, next week, it's coming up. A week from yesterday, we're premiering my next Hidden series, both on PBS, Amazon Prime, and Apple TV Plus. It's called Hidden Saudi Arabia. Here's just a little clip from the show. It's quite a few miles down to the historic village of Rijal Amma. It once was a thriving community, an important stop for pilgrims making their way north to Mecca. But by the end of the 20th century, most of the villagers had disappeared. In 2017, they began working to restore the crumbling forts that have been a part of this village for over 600 years. So they wanted to get the culture back?
Yeah, culture back.
The heritage back?
The heritage back. And this is one of our culture.
Cool. Ibrahim is a descendant of ancient tribes from this region that are known for their colorful clothing and floral crowns, earning them the nickname Flower Men. Their floral crowns are made by hand, and many of these headpieces speak to the character of the men who wear them. You're strong,
Yeah,
you're young,
I'm young,
and you're happy.
I am happy. Also, I can marry.
I can get married.
Yeah, I can marry.
What if you are married?
You can marry too.
I can marry too.
I don't know.
That's April. What am I talking about? April. That's February 22nd. That's a week from yesterday. Check your local listings on PBS and, of course, Amazon Prime and Apple TV Plus. And now let's go to the photo of the week. I love this shot. Look at the clarity there. Look at the contrast. Does anyone want to tell me where that was taken? Anyone want to guess? Well, first of all, we thank Scott Greenwood who took it. He says, I took this photo in mid-October of 2019. There was a thin layer of ice. I couldn't believe how cold it was even for October, but the view was amazing. And that view, folks, was of Lake Moraine near where? Banff in Alberta. Of course, everything in Banff is beautiful, not to mention Lake Louise and a few other great places. But, you know, you wait for the light. Look at just a little bit of the snow on the trees and the mountains. Oh, perfect. So, Scott, congratulations on that. And if you think you've got a photo of the week that qualifies, you know what to do. Send it in to us, peter@petergreenberg.com, and we'll post it just like we did just now. A couple of quick reminders. Again, I'm in Kingston at the University of the West Indies attending the Global Resilience Conference about crisis management. We'll have more on that in the weeks to come. In the meantime, of course, this Saturday, you got the radio show as always from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Check your local listings. And if you can't find it, we stream it live right here on petergreenberg.com. Saturday is also the day I speak at the LA Convention Center, again on Sunday at the LA Travel Show. The following week, you'll see me in Denver on the 25th and 26th at the Denver Convention Center. And of course, Hidden Saudi Arabia, which you just mentioned, coming up in just a few days. So I'm going to race back to the conference right now and then get on a plane. I will see you very soon in Los Angeles. For those of you in the area, come see me. And in the meantime, have a great rest of your weekend. But don't forget, I'm going to post it up on the website again right now, the information you need to have to donate, to help, to do what you can to help the people in Turkey. This story is not going away by any means. And they need your help. They need our help, my help, everybody's help. Please do what you can. And we'll have more information on resources every week because that list will only increase in number and in application. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. And I'll see you next week.
Peter Greenberg's live global travel update is presented to you by itseasy.com passport and visa services.